Well, good day to you. It is Friday, April the 10th, and this is the fifth in our series of these devotionals reflecting over the last days of Jesus' life from here at Maple Drive Presbyterian Church. Today we'll be reading a little longer passage from Matthew 27, beginning in verse 45, of the account of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So let's hear now together the Word of God. Again, if you're following along, it's Matthew 27:45 and following. Jesus has already been crucified on the cross and has been mocked and scorned by those around him. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani, that is, my God, why have you forsaken me? And some of the bystanders hearing it said, This man is calling Elijah. And one of them at once ran and took a sponge, filled it with sour wine, and put it on a reed, and gave it to him to drink. But the others said, Wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to save him. And Jesus cried out again with a loud voice, and yielded up his spirit. And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook, and the rocks were split. The tombs also were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised, and coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. When the centurion and those who were with him, keeping watch over Jesus, saw the earthquake and what took place, they were filled with awe and said, Truly this was the Son of God. There were also many women there, looking on from a distance, who had followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him, among whom were Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. When it was evening, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who also was a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered it to be given to him. And Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen shroud and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had cut in the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the entrance of the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were there, sitting opposite the tomb. Well, such a powerful passage really needs little in the way of comment from me, but I do want to observe a couple of things with you. The first is that we see Christ enduring the dreadful wrath of God on account of sin. The physical torment Jesus endured was horrific. We can't begin to imagine, many of us can't, what he went through in his flogging and crucifixion. But that physical torment was nothing in comparison to the spiritual torment he endured. Because in reality, the eternity of hell on behalf of all of those people that belong to him was what he was enduring here. The eternity of hell was being felt by the heart of Jesus. He was burning with the hell that was deserved by his people. And we see that the Father turns his face away from the Son here, from his son from eternity past, and we see the darkness cover the face of the land. Even the sun refused to shine upon Christ as he endured the wrath of God for sin. We also see here that Joseph of Arimathea makes a gift of this tomb, newly cut and never used. Therefore it was uncorrupted by death, and a holy resting place for the Son of God. But notice also that Matthew identifies Joseph as a rich man. This is yet another fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy from Isaiah 53, verse 9. You will make his grave with a rich man in his death. And my friends, I just ask you, have you ever really read Isaiah 52 and 53, along with perhaps Psalm 22, and compared those Old Testament passages to the accounts of Jesus' death and crucifixion? I would challenge you, if you've never done that, to do so today or tomorrow during this season of reflecting over the death and crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ, and just see how the Word of God so perfectly foretold what would happen one day, even though those were recorded hundreds of years before the time of Christ. Read and consider. And so this Friday closes with the hurried burial of the body of Jesus. It had to be in the ground before the sun set. And so you can imagine Joseph and his helpers preparing the body as best they could and laying him to rest in this tomb, even as the sun was setting on the horizon, and rolling this great stone to cover the resting place of Jesus of Nazareth. And so the sun sets on this Friday with the light of the world being laid in the darkness of the grave.